What's up? So, I get asked this question all the time. How much money do I need to buy a truck? And there's really no easy way to answer this question. What I can do at best is give you just a little bit of insight that maybe will give you a leg up in determining exactly how much you might need for your situation. So we're gonna answer some of those questions today, but it's kind of nice outside, so let's take it outside. So how much money does it take? Well, unfortunately, the answer is just really not that easy. There's a lot of different factors that take a part in this, and obviously one of the biggest factors is going to be how much cash do you have. You know, it's always best to pay in cash, unless you got a 0% loan, and then it's best to take the 0% loan. But if you don't have access to a 0% loan, which hardly any of us do, you're gonna need some cash. And some things to consider are going to be, of course, the down payment, which is going to be the largest portion of this. Now, for me, my down payment was $4,800, which is a pretty good down payment. It's pretty minimal. It didn't hurt my cash flow too much. But there's other things to consider beyond just the down payment. How much money are you going to have to put into this truck to bring it up to par to make it road ready? And you're going to want to do this from the start. You don't want to create bad habits, in your truck. If it needs an alignment, you don't want to jump out with brand new tires and say, well, I don't have the money for an alignment now. When you're considering getting new tires, you need to go ahead and consider an alignment all in one, because you don't want to mess up those tires. You don't want to get bad wear on it. So, there's so many different things that need to be done to trucks. That's where research is going to play a huge part in this. You're going to need to do your research. You're going to need to be very well educated in what needs to be done at what intervals to buy a truck, or at the very least have knowledge in what you know that you can afford. So let's say, a $2,000 payment, you've done your math, you know roughly what kind of interest you're going to have on your loan, so you can roughly estimate the trucks that you're able to buy, what year model, what mileage is on them, where it's going to put you in that payment range. Then you can go do your research as far as how much money you're going to need to put into that truck to bring it up to par to be road ready. Now, one of the first things you're absolutely going to have to do if it has a DPF system on it is you have to do an EGR tune-up. This is essential. I've got friends that did not do an EGR tune-up whenever they first bought their trucks, and they went to the shop within a few months. So this is something that's imperative, and it's something that unfortunately hardly any of the mega carriers are doing. They're not replacing the IMAP sensor or the Delta P sensor or the back pressure sensor. They're not cleaning out crossover pipes. They're not doing stuff like this. These things need to be done, but unfortunately they don't have to be done in order to keep the warranty up to par. So this is something that you're gonna need to do right out of the gate. Things like that maintenance needs to be all summed up into how much money do you need to buy the truck. Don't think of it just in terms of, well, I need money for the down payment and maybe 1 month truck note will get you by. No, that's not the way to think about it. You need to think down payment. You need to think, yeah, you do want to have 2 months of that truck payment sitting there in the bank. You want to have, or you need to have, money for your 2290. That's $550 a year. And yeah, it's prorated if you don't buy it at the right time, which I think is August. But that's something else to consider. And then all of the maintenance. And then you want to have an extra lump of money set aside just in case. These trucks, you're talking about hundreds of thousands of miles on these trucks. We run these trucks hard. We run heavy. We run up and down mountains. So things are gonna break. And you don't want to be in a position where you get 2 weeks into your truck and you have to have $2,000 to fix whatever, who knows what. If you don't have that money, that's a bad start. So me personally, and this is just me personally, I don't know if this is a right answer, I don't know if this is a wrong answer, but I felt comfortable having about $3,000 beyond 2 truck payments set aside after all of my maintenance money, just in case money. So I was getting a head start on my maintenance fund. These are factors that you need to consider, you need to put in play, and you need to think about, because it's not just about getting the truck. You know, you've also got to think about what it's going to take to get onto a company. You know, there's some companies out there that require, you know, some money down. I had to come up with half the amount of money for my flatbed equipment, which that wasn't cheap. I want to say that was a total of like maybe $4,000. I don't remember, something like that. But I had to also buy my Qualcomm. That was $500, something like that. You know, there's a lot of things involved, and there's just not a right or wrong answer. You know, you may have $3,000 available on a credit card, and that can serve as your emergency maintenance fund. You know, I don't recommend starting on credit, but it can be done. I highly advise against it. But if you have that as an additional safety net, hey, you're even better off. So, you know, those are things to consider when buying a truck, because I can't answer the question, how much money do you need to buy a truck? I can only answer, how much money do I need to buy a truck? So, you know, and this also goes in line with, what truck should you buy? There's 100 different questions that need to be answered before I could even give you a decent idea of what truck that you need to buy. You know, it's something that's very personal to each individual, to each corporation. The different drivers, these are all factors. These are all things that you have to consider. And these are things that I urge you to figure out, because you are going to be the business owner. It's all going to rest on you. You have to make these decisions, and the quicker that you realize that, the better prepared you're going to be down the road to run a profitable business, to be successful out here. You know, you cannot be over prepared. I've said in many of my other securement videos, there's no such thing as too much securement. Well, there's also no such thing as over preparedness. So don't be afraid to, you know, if you're teetering on the fence whether you need $15,000 or $18,000, I'd say go ahead and go for the 18 grand. So the sun just went down, and I'm starting not to be able to feel my hands, so I'm gonna go back inside and warm up. Let's go. Don't make fun of me. I'm just a little southern boy. It's like 25. I mean, come on, yeah, that's cold. Fahrenheit. So anyway, I thought it was nice outside. I was mistaken. But yeah, you know, that question is such a personal question, and it's just one that can't really be answered by someone else. It's one of those questions that I can give you an idea of what I did, but my situation is different than your situation, and everybody's situation is different, so everybody's answer is different. And the best thing that you can do for yourself, for your business, to ensure success, is to do the research yourself. You know, yeah, ask questions. You know, hey, what did you do? How did you prepare? What did you prepare for? What did you do when you got your truck? Sure, ask those questions. You know, but as far as how much money do you need, it's something that you really need to dig into and do yourself a favor and prepare and learn. And you will give yourself an edge to be successful out here without the aid of someone else. And that is the goal, because it's your business, it's your company. Nobody is gonna work for you like you are gonna work for you. And you would do well to remember that. I repeat that. Nobody is going to work for you like you are going to work for you. And that, you know, that can mean drive for you. That can mean manage your money for you. That can mean do your taxes for you. That can mean a lot of different things. So do yourself a favor and do your own research.